Hello everybody, welcome to Scrappy Land on the Air. It's Friday, December 19th, and we're going to talk about Spellbinder's Nestabilities today. As you can see here, I'm showing you how I store my Nestabilities in CD cases. I have all of them divided by shapes and sizes. I put a P-Touch label on the spine, and then on the inside of each CD case, I put a couple zigzags of double stick tape and just press my dies into that tape. It keeps everything in place and steady and ready for me to grab and use at a moment's notice. Here I'm going to show you how to take the largest of the scalloped rectangles and cut it with just some black cardstock. I've put the blade side up on my 12-inch platform. The good side of my cardstock, which would be like a textured side or a patterned side, is going to go down. Excuse my arm there. We're going to use my 12-inch cutting mat and roll it through the revolution. I go ahead and just remove the outside piece, the trash, the throwaway part. Now we're going to get ready to do the embossing. I have 1/2 of my 5x7 tan embossing mat. And I'm going to use a couple of cardstock shims. I've got 3 pieces of patterned paper, 3 pieces of cardstock that I keep paper clipped together and labeled as my Spellbinder's embossing shims. I'm going to take those shims and put them on top of the tan mat, and then I'm going to take my regular embossing mat or my sticky cutting mat. I've changed my mind there. I'm going to use my 12-inch because I realized that my die is actually longer than 4 inches. So I'm going to use my 12-inch sticky cutting mat. The sticky cutting mat plus the 3 pieces of cardstock plus the tan embossing mat all go through as one big sandwich and roll through my revolution. Now I clip my shims back together and stash those. Take it out, and what you'll have is your finished die cut that is now embossed. A little fuzzy there on the close-up image of it, but you get the impression. Then you can take my 12-inch sticky mat, and I'm going to try and cut a photograph. What I love about having the dies open, these Nestabilities, is that you can see what you're cutting. You could put things in to cut the shapes out. So I can center a photograph in my scalloped rectangle. You want to make sure when you're doing this that you press it down in the center so it touches the sticky surface to keep it from sliding around. Put my 12-inch cutting mat on there, which will be labeled my sticky cutting mat, and roll that through. Take everything off the sticky mat, and that's going to give me my cut shape that now will fit perfectly with a 1/4 inch edge all the way around that scalloped shape. All right, so that is the first thing that I love about the Nestabilities, the ease that they work with the revolution and the variety of shapes they come in, and the fact that all of them emboss with just the use of that tan embossing mat. Now here I'm going to show you another thing that I love doing with the Nestabilities is if you don't line your edge all the way up to the edge, if you take the folded edge and drop it down a little bit, you will get a card that has your cut edges. So you have a folded edge that is dropped down just below the edge of your die. Obviously I'm having a little trouble here getting it lined up, but roll that through with your cutting mat. And when you take off the cutting mat, you'll have a card that has your decorative edge. And actually, because that's such a tight fit, you do actually get some of the embossed edge ever so lightly impressed in there. So these would make great table cards for your holiday dinner, or any kind of decoration, or just to use as the base of a card, you know, gift enclosures, or to put on your packages for this holiday season. All the Nestabilities are on sale today for $14.99 at scrappyland.com. Come check out the sale, come check out the availability, and check back this week.